Well, Asaba, yeah, trade me so Diamond try that as saw this and come say to me the abre Adom Mpensenpensenmu bre Badwam on Adom TV, multi TV so and Ofori-Atta here my mena was there are a lot of text messages a birthday wishes SSM me edema one say one adofo papa bi edi one awoda and quickly and sana me introduce me guest I have this one here okay, so we should share na me who MC Ebesaba because me who enti me who Messiah about back now for maybe read out the message to one lady or person papa Utimi Emmanuel Papa who say Osombuye pa. And then don't forget the pledge. You promise to be patriotic, to also to love your country and also to be truthful and to be honest. So help me God, and my Renfi. And then we are Hafunian so kwada be a proud Hafunian. Baby, I will be making sure say the day impuntu ni kan konye ni munyam ebebrea ahafono and na obitu anamo under the able leadership of George Boachi, our regional minister, a potential president from the region, Eric Opoku, your wisdom port Alhaji Collins Dauda, ably supported by Bobby Deputy Minister Sports, and Dr. Benjamin, also Otano, is it South or North in Bako? Almighty Frida Prempe, era Bano, Munina Damasi, Ofa, Bronini, Mamaka, Damasi, or Quansun Kusukra. Mother, I have a flag, and then Koso Yakan Kesiepa, Nafi, and Melbonusa Moyinano, Yachia Munina, from a young foot throughout, I could see the last place. Yachia Bibia, said Mama Bibia called Alex Badwam. I hear, say, on a diversion, Obedi Hujuma, Mestre say, Obaya Jumapa, the Ama Ahafo, especially in times like this. Inti Alex Badwam construction, good morning, and thank God, say, Ubitus Anamoa, Aya Papa say, Ediama wa Adeshe. So from Kukum to Omahinisu, to Techre, to Adroba, to Mim, to Kasapre, to, I can't say, Censure, Kenya say 1 and 2, Yamfo. Good morning to everybody. This will be a come out. Adope, we still know, say, Nikwan say this, you know, because NDC, no continues to acknowledge, say, there is hope for the NDC when any Binum to say Pablo, George Ofori-Atta, joined His Excellency, the former President, John Dramani Mahama, plus other dignitaries, clearly 2024 headel no on Bishri Abom Homode, Aman Kunim Dieti. So still maintain, in all humility, George Ofori-Atta, hashtag, or known the current national youth organizer, and still maintaining him for that position as Moko Ekonim Unyami Adma 2024. George Akwaba. Oh, yes, Nyami Adom, Bibia, and Nekwan, so kama. NDC Muti say, with Professor Mills, I back and forth between the NDC, Kokwanido, the Jubilee House. It's so interesting. What's happening?
Lady came, chair with chief for no more Moshe, not me for reasons, so now. My planning committee no more near Jumapa and round a bit unfortunate. Yanuma and the Prof Mills here, Jumano. Developments now crossing Yaninja. But all said and done, yesterday we had a very successful program at Assembly Park on Nomo. And both programs, there was an apadiano, and I had my query at the end. So I only felt that we could have celebrated his memory without all these unnecessary controversies. And my only difficulty here, people who claim they love Professor Mills so much, and yet allow his name to be dragged in this manner, and but all said and done, it was a successful program. Tuesday, Yebehodi Memorial Lecture, and the Yenra Chachujikata and a Bekasa lecture last year. And I believe that it will be worth, will be our time, will be about the Academy of Arts and Sciences. And once that is done, I believe that we would have celebrated him well enough. You cannot write the history of this country without looking at Professor Mills' contributions to the democracy of Ghana. So our title as it just didn't come about. He practiced what he preached. And let me say, Nipapa Panche. But Oshe, the 3.5 years that he stayed in office, and the kind of leadership out there, and the kind of successes our church here, you could clearly tell that Nanyamensa Ewaneso. From education, I was one of the MCs at the survey under him. You introduced the 4-year system under President Kufuor. But when the 4-year system was introduced, there were no infrastructures that were put in place. Because one of the first things he did was to instruct all of us. So behind your assessment of schools that are in the area. Now you have infrastructural deficits are all Embra. And within 1 year, almost every school within municipality and across the country, in your say dormitory blocks, because now instead of 3 years, third year exit, the 3rd years we're going to stay into their 4th year, and our first years count. Within that short time, we built dormitory blocks, we expanded dining halls, assembly halls, and classroom blocks for secondary schools across the country. 1 year the day on home. Let me call a district near about 6 schools. Now Kodani be Kwanopa, maybe area. He requested for that listing. So school beer or shift system, the basic level, emphasize information and within 6 months in office, now get fund consultants around the whole country, access schools no. And then all those schools within 3 years, near eliminated shift system no, across the country. So means strong basic schools in Professor Mills, FMIC were well in excess of over 1,000.
Basic schools?
Yes. Basic schools in Professor Mills is here, well in excess of over 1,000. You can get the data from GetFund. Basic schools in schools under trees. And Professor Mills schools under trees brought from the by. He eliminated almost, you cannot eliminate schools under trees completely. Because of the way of development, it took a Krobi so almost starting year, we almost started school. But at the time, almost all the schools now they were under trees, now you take stock of we eliminated it. Apart from that, we also eliminated shift system. Expanded infrastructure in all the secondary schools to accommodate the 4-year system. And these were unprecedented. And then you come and look at healthcare. And at President Mills, any call, you start to see some numerous chip compounds now, you're scattered all across the country, You understand? So he was of the opinion that you cannot walk a certain more than 5 kilometers to access healthcare. And then yes, there be nothing more than 5 kilometers to access a school. So we position schools everywhere. And when you said, I was there because I was part of the NMA implementing policy. We healthcare if you know rural electrification. Me districts, Ekwapim North. Me buy now the last time NDC Efia by in 2000 light posts are jegu honomo. Ye refusi to be no jegu honomo Anthony Jempo no jegu honomo. You buy in 2009. Now light posts in that sugu baby anigwa near for a 8 years after.
Light posts.
The light posts that were used, babe kono. Near rural electrification projects that were in most of the villages. Remember back in 2009 after 8 years. But the former NDCDC Anthony Jempo, Eja light posts nigu and they buy nigu pepe. Nobody had touched it. And at Professor Mills, we saw expanded, aggressive China water. Ebe 2B, not President Kufuor time, normal start be. But President Mills ebe twice so. The other thing about President Mills, how he relates with everybody. To the extent that, George Bush Highway, President Kufuor Adjei Millennium Challenge, he didn't leave President Kufuor out. For the first time in the history of this country, President Bibaya and Kwakwa Commission project or friend the counterpart of another party or no G's can't do the same commission because now G's can buy. Same with the FPSO. That showed the kind of manner, no yet. And so if we decide to write about him, He's the former president. You name a lot of name after him, monuments, roads after him. Because even though his stay was short, the impact is huge. And so it was just unfortunate. 10 years on, instead of celebrating such a man, there were controversies. But all said and done, but
the controversy is going to go on because that's the relevance of the title of Asumdwe. And then the Chino, we are not connecting with that Asumdwe factor.
Sadly enough, the man himself is gone. It is their problem. But for me, I believe that those who are in charge of the heritage, Alex Segbefian and the team, they did a fantastic job. Because of controversies, challenges there. Even having access to the grants initially was a challenge from the national security perspective. But all said and done, sanity prevailed. The national security minister Kanapa got involved, and sanity prevailed. The state did its own. The party that he belonged to also did its own.
Okay, so a friend will be joining him. I say, Badwam Mpensenpensenmu Anna Yashasi, who is former member of parliament for Menchia North, Babaka and Sawan, say Collins Usamankwa, Babaka and Sawan, say, studio there. Yane era George Ofori-Atta, national youth organizer for the NDC, Anna Adom and Komo. Now there's a call here. But quickly, Mamin putting in this reminder, I'm sure saying a doctor for being Musubai. Yes, so not encouraging to patients at all. Already, you say your challenges with our health system. And the best doctor for being a nurse for being Mokasa, Nemo Neye, Nemo Sunimo Bambino. It's becoming very, very worrying, especially when the patient is around and is listening to the conversation. It's Mikum Nipakra. Say, oh, a doctor. We say basic thing and say, it's say what you are to so by a doctor. There certain qualities be as I will exhibit. And a doctor for me no one about the my heart scratch. Street language now no catch a patient. Very unfortunate. That's what I'm saying. There. Dr. Hansen Tini, just this weekend, Obia or yes, say you be trying nine. Now in some doctor for no kick a crack, found crown. Certain treatment should go on before that exercise. As my doctor for any big cano. And you could get similar complaints and free patients or but at that material moment about particular doctors be. Like my phone 37 phone. And my colleague and some private doctors no. When you're careful. You could also be in the same soup. The fact that you're a doctor and just own TV Yario. The best stress a doctor for being so bomb or pie. A doctor for being no patients. No. It's so sad. You say more dear. So if you're a doctor. So, we me. It's very unfortunate. A doctor for being destroyed.
It is only in Ghana.
It's so
you
sad.
cannot question your doctor.
I'm surprised
about what treatment.
Yes, and even
and he gets offended.
I'm surprised.
They say treatment when are they, mammy? Meanwhile, it is me. So I have every right to. I know how it feels like.
You know, and doctor, we quite my official are right. Maybe bad girl crying no. Oh, now we are the same man. Now, crack it out. Watch any call home pasty crano. Oh no, we mistake. And no one else will crack out. Nipa able to mona complaints about any other matters and no about. But you look at my daughter insulting almost all of us and in the presence of the child. Also your doctor. Who in me? The doctor for binuma moye sad you know. We are going to go after you. And when we present with the Dr. Yancy, we would now or maybe a moye juma. And sana ya basu because doctor for in as much as you hear mono ibimu ya humti. Patients are suffering and they cannot talk about it because Dr. Timika which a patient. They don't treat you maybe. What is this? We are helping the country to sink. We are not going to share politicians. Let me take this opportunity to also thank Ira Martin Bigbu. He's done well to retract and apologize, even though sometimes we did His Excellency Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and then maybe in call for only been more year. One number pa. All that's what Adjei Asafo saw, that's what take position as gender minister. You still have Ofori-Atta. Days before we went to IMF, Katre said over his dead body, then we went to IMF, and he's still leading the negotiation. President, why? Rachel Fonso, a president Acho, seeing clearly that this is what is happening. Indeed, Martin Pebu, you are amongst the few revered lawyers in this country and beyond Ghana. What Daroma, don't be provoked by politicians, especially this MPP administration. Speak to the matters, but just control the system because Nipa don't want to be to say show pan and did you. Who do ya no much your man yourself for a child? Teach you this administration. And no more be peer free one you'll be so sorry to yourself. Okay, so we are back to the conversation. Minority MPs gather signatures to kickstart vote of set. Now, and I read that Ofori-Atta is comparing those who are calling for, Ghana. I want to read that statement, that those who are calling for his resignation or compare a certain scenario. Hey, yeah, but for that, honorably, you should have just been off the seat. The place is filled with data bank for your cronies. You really want some count. You really want some count. The minority caucus has gathered over 100 signatures from the eightfold to kickstart the vote of censure proceedings against the finance minister. Minority funds, what is your problem? Well, I think I'm moving to Sana. The man really pushed that into the ditch long time ago.
But you see, two things. We don't have the power to appoint. So, okay, Article 82, or if I'm not mistaken, that is the only process that you make me have. And the crampo no, you have 1/3 signatures in here, you have 2/3 to remove him. We still need members on the majority side to support. But the good news is that some members on the majority side, that they want to trigger it. Until I just hope say, I want chicken out, and then also speaker about more. If there, because on censorship it is by secret voting, it cannot be done in the. If all processes goes through, I don't see why it should be a problem. But you see, on the issue of Martin Kpebu, young commenting is a worry draw, but I can't kasa. There's a opening. Oh, fear nankoda rin nanka. Nasa one can ye can nanka ye for ye can. It is not proper because of the office of president. That is the only reason some of us may not descend that low. But President Akufo-Addo ain't me exonerating him from the rot and filth I engulfing administration. Omahine, utifie na ye penny. Na omba ekukrum de bia no mundi omuhuni. Na sabe continuous no mu misbehavior ye di atemu e bi beka.
Yeah, when the man no
exactly, because we show level of irresponsibility. So we can look at Martin's statement from whichever way. Or the back can say more and not a macano. Ye can carry for or count. It's opening born and said and can keep you too. So clearly, whether we like it or yes, you have to krumu any who they course under a merry innovation. The president came to tell us that he was misled. In any proper developmental democracy, I said it, or minor ever conscience, that mistake the president made, difference of Sikan here, is a minority in any Abranka. That one alone was enough grounds for the president to set up. If we also a war bust under Alfred Obio somewhere, the rot that happened, and it's a Tom Crude. Immediately, the president issued a statement when the minister then had set up a committee to investigate. Did you see a copy of minister and the committee report? He indicted most of them. Yet the president's report came to clear them. To the extent, say, the president was notoriously known as a clearing agent in this country. Ubiaye Boni no amount the cover. So you see, if me know, as citizens of this country, I chatwo. Not clearly who said Bonnie Koso. Sometimes there's the innocent and to proving guilty. So I'm not a lawyer for you. But sometimes the consistency is a Bonia air Koso and how the public perceives it. Ofori Professor Mills, Dr. Doolittle, he's not do nothing on your own. Rather, no, before you know, he issues a white paper. Before you know, he does this. Even after Ayawaso West gone. When crime was committed, Emma set up a committee of eminent citizens. Among the recommendations by Nipa was here, the president issued a white paper to clear them. A Chomai Muhanomo, and now tax, a Bora court dime. Emma judge, Ijanija and the wig on. You clear them, my attorney general, and only prosecutor, and I'll judge. If it is not criminality, and somebody does not preside over this criminality, we between Akoso. Tacit approval from the seat of the president.
Maybe I want it.
Abba. So the white paper that was issued, was it not issued in his name? Then we have no business. You need business, every friend is saying president. So, me I say, when you are head of an entity and crime goes on, you become the head of that criminal organization. And that is what I think people were saying. Because consistently, people who we have entrusted, to me, as your monster, perpetuating crime here. First put McVie. They're also under the Ministry of Health. I don't do politics of personalization. I look at general issues. Because sometimes, let's look at the institutions. But Sputnik V, Ajimaimenu, why is he still a minister of state and why are my taxes being used to pay him? When the world over, said this was the price, now ton a drone. We paid money and he even came to lie to us. Perjury. The president is a lawyer. So if another lawyer sits back and says, you are head of a criminal entity, people in his administration, who is the head of government, into all the crimes going on under his watch until he gives it approval, presidential approval. So what is it? They say, Openi, Otnefie, Nankodari Nanka, Yakan Nankari Foa, Okamubi, Okanabro for the kind of saying. I think people speak English, I can't tree. And now, Sebio Sebi, Trikasa. Oh, yeah, literal translation now. Say, Openi, Utifie. That's say, if you are the leader or you are the head of family and the children in the house are misbehaving, doing things that are not proper, and they are counting people who misbehave, would you be spared?
No.
Exactly. It is a, what the Yemfane said, we've not been able to trace any crime to you as president. But how do we spare you?
About it.
The other issue on Ofori-Atta, this is your studio, Me say, if anybody is responsible for Ofori-Atta's mess, it is the Supreme Court. And I'll send it here. Or Ken Bond, so I fragmented in at the end now, Shraj, and he said, I blame Shraj and I blame the Supreme Court. When clearly we only say he was in conflict. Shraj decision on the bar and they say he was in potential conflict. In the Constitution, there is nothing like potential conflict. But come studio, then we proceeded to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court in my interpretation. It took more than 2 years for the Supreme Court of Ghana to give any interpretations to it. When they even changed the bench, after the first bench that was impaneled, even more called pension, when the others retired, they had to reconstitute the bench again. Omba, I don't response on the bar. Said they declined jurisdiction on the matter after 2 years. Issues of potential conflict of interest. They would have cured Ghana, the rot we find ourselves in today, if they had done or looked into the matter. Because on that issue of conflict of interest, when Nkrofo no more business interest, without disclosing to the state. Shard said potential conflict of interest. So Shard could not even speak to the issue of conflict of interest. Had a president and to be true. We have dug a pit and put all of us in. I have said, Ken Ofori-Atta is Ghana's biggest problem facing our financial sector. I'm not starting the banking sector reforms. No, so it was not just reforms he was doing. He had personal vendetta against some of the banks, and so his entity should be the biggest. You can't say me now, but nobody seems to listen. Today, minority MPs are essential. I wish them well. I pray, say, Omenya Kukudru Aye. I pray so many 110 signatures, no, because let me tell you, some leading members of the NPP have contacted us. Say, asking you the baby on support we almost break in Ofori-Atta. Some have even told us, say, they led a delegation to the Flagstaff House. Some could show my penny. Do the first of my penny can say, oh, Ken is doing very well. In 7 command can normally call in crown. Almost me and almost some waiting on by. Because the man has absolute confidence in the office. Today, Ken Ofori-Atta's companies are doing fabulously well in this country. And is it, whether we like it or yes, baby, I jinano, any baby, or mine, Ken Ofori-Atta is not the man to take us out. I remember when you was appointed in one of your studios, maybe I can say, when you appoint somebody from the private sector who has not managed any public AE before, you may be mistaken. Private equity management and yet public finance. They are two different avenues. All Ken Ofori-Atta knows is to borrow money. He's an investment banker. So he's thinking, even the accountants are better off managing the economy than what this investment banker is doing. While running the economy down, apart from that, Ken Ofori-Atta's attitude, anyhow, one managing Mbobia, President Mahama Emma Crossroad lecture, and he said something, said, after 6 years, almost 6 years at the finance ministry, he's long overdue so because Bonia Ken Dinkro for Nins and Bonia with Digana. So all will be crap as the Boa Ghana, Ken Ofori-Atta to farm. There are people with ideas. He's vindictive. So there are people with ideas who can come out and help this country. I won't back because of Ken Ofori-Atta. So the longer we keep Ken Ofori-Atta, the worse it becomes for all of us. And if Ghana wants to move away from rot in the mess here, the man who has put you in the mess, how does this same man lead you to the IMF to go and negotiate? The man not 2 weeks ago catch us say on IMF and on IMF over his dead body. Is this the same person who been leading negotiations at the IMF? What is he bringing on board? Because the man already has a mindset. Our culture say IMF, they mean for then this same man, early morning, my fan is IMF. Look at all the indicators. And this is the same man who sits at the ministry and manipulates figures.
How did he say?
Figures are what they call World Bank, different. Figures on the Parliament, different. Or creative accounting. Now, kaya bobo, bose bobo, jebia to change. So your figures are low, yet they come more than that. Is this the man?
And then, how did he say, Odaso hold on to any position now, Odaso? Now, on one person to me, who say, man paying grant, near Bana, Bijidi say, me and Cassie say, Missy form.
You see, studio here, I can't say, me say, it is either Ken knows something, I mean, no, ye or my penny. And if Ken goes down, Ebia, expose Bibaba.
Bibia to form.
To Krubiba, the Honomo. You be the real situation. Yes, I born you are punching you and I want to say, it's Ebia, we'll get to see the full, because for me, I am strongly inclined to say the figures they've presented on any other thing, they are not being truthful to this country. It's once they are there, they've been able to suppress information. See, also say I don't mind penny for any term, no. So that he's able, because but I strongly believe that maybe the president himself will have to resign.
I don't want to believe say even the central bank and the Krabenya that, because relationship wise, there's a problem. The central bank and the finance ministry, the governor and that of the finance minister. There are issues. Maybe point is why is it difficult for Ghana Mampenyi
another macano. Ken is his money bag, whether you like it or yes. 2, so Ken resign here. I strongly believe, sir, the rot we will uncover, no, the president will have to resign. That is the only reason why Okita Ken. And I Ken you hold the fort, no. Because if Ken resigns today and a new minister takes over, we'll discover too much rots. People will be bold enough to bring evidence out. And the kind of scandal like that hits your mind, it will go all the way to the seat of government. I know about 2 or 3 things, and because any between their 12 months, but they are holding on. They are holding on too much. It is messy at the ministry. Nipa bebre asemaka, whistleblowers bebre issue some bekasa. The day Ken is removed, it will be scandal after scandal. I strongly know. Say some will get to the doorstep of the president, and it can shake the very foundation of our democracy. So let's keep him there. So
it's in our interest to keep him there?
No.
As of mine?
No, it is not in our interest. It is our interest to remove him so that whoever are complicit in the rot that has engulfed this nation, if it even means the president has to resign, he must. So that, because we cannot let 2 people, Akufo-Addo and Ofori-Atta, make 32 million citizens suffer because of their recklessness. No, it's me, man. Because of them not being prudent and taking the right decisions, 32 million Ghanaians should suffer. No, because of 2 people. No. And like you rightly said, data bank for them head the financial when a new person comes, their loyalty will not be to Sani Pano. Because loyalty to Ofori-Atta. But let me tell that group, it's a crime and expire. Someday there will be a new sheriff in town or a cleaning system, and none of them will go scot-free. None of them. From a year, financial cleaners, nobody will go scot-free. The rot they have left this country with. Clean up. We all know. We know. The monies they've taken, we know. That day will come. The day of reckoning will come. If it will even take 10 years.
Okay, so whilst we think of Sani Pebi were buying him, Yemani Pebinimu, and Timmy Free are buying him, Yankwesi Betty Penny Penny Biason, institutions no will be effective. No. Some 7 hours back, this is what Gabi and I always say, sir, or to 2 Boko Park and so. Okoya was a part of Abain. You know, but they will be our to Park. They will be our to Park of Subianos, a yejuma, you know, so unfortunate. And sometimes, meaning, almost a way how they throw it back at us, you know. It is as if a reshuffle will suddenly end the war in Ukraine, bring down inflation, and make the city stronger than the dollar. See, one control wakuma, and no emotions. I also want equal response. equal response. If you know the born, the uncle to Tonko Park, so sa na ebrewe ye ninka so. Sa sheni pe bufu, shani pa roba say there. I think this is not fair.
Is it
when you boldly do this on social media? Naga's the only part of government. You are not just a citizen of Ghana. We respect that. Proximity to power and to what your influence can do. A key. Inti unyo biya keke. They say cameraman you one man or can I be biya a pan of biya and feel crowd. Biya granted. Intimate what media gate na no cry. So that is it. So if this is coming from or Fasia and I say Nia and I say yeah, you know, it's unfortunate.
The Gabi problem.
Very unfortunate.
It will be cured with a matter of time.
Very unfortunate.
And is the Bible no assembly or moka. And sometimes it sounded to start him the day into can want to celebrate. But to me, and I for and a man feel say we do. But say to me now when you on say a temporal and permanent. si sebi ne nsem no ne nsem trotro no betumi akoso atrotro but e many be do I say a Danny Drew Honoma and be yodo. So Gabi can go ahead and write all his gibberish now. A bad man who I trust a Ghana for in kind. Me, I've told myself personally, say I wouldn't even give him any credit and I'll not respond to him because he's not worth anybody's time. So let me also edit the same one. But that day will come. If a race shuffle will not solve the problem, so be it. On any of our time, they shouldn't do the race shuffle. But maybe almost kikaye en kono. A baby boom. And it may not be pleasant. See my name Pia at this year. Ebufo ni pemu pa o ma hine. Onam krom because then maybe make a tour watch is legal. Omo ton watch bi anywhere. Yeah. Person be taboo bia. Na me ko ton branch bi o hono. And akomodi one made me out na akomodi mu. The kind of things the young men said. E ma me yem shame. Me ko fie na my dream beside me say, hey, adwuma ya cry is worth it. Because a buffone won branch no, some cannot even wait for the next elections. Utiomo kasa. No, I keep wondering, say, hey, and I'm more ye tree. Sempa, yeah.
Okay, so our times are tough. We are unable to run away from ASR and Komono. That we are seeing no nneɛma ye den ɛnu nti na aman mpanyimfo no wɔn aboafo no so den hyehyɛ a ɛyɛ papa egu akwan mama ɔman ni mufo sɛ de bɛyɛ egitum sɛ wi ase ayɛ den na emom ye bɛdwene bibi fufuro ebetuma ma yɛn so nipa ɛte man ni mu no ye ho ahare ye kakra. So let us not run for cover with Ukraine, Russia, especially we say Ekutiabo we krasa catch from Gabi Asari. Let's not run for cover under Ukraine and then COVID and all that. The impact of COVID, Ukraine, it is one unique opportunity for us also to think as a country. So then bit me aye. So down kwama bi an sadi we sabi CPI try. What can we do on our own? Oh share yeah, hospital facilities here, health facilities here, ebudichi. Every facet of Ghana, the economy, we are all helping, plus governments, to sink it. We only have one Ghana, and that's what I keep telling sympathizers of political parties. We only have one Ghana. Okay, so Yaba, we'll do some wrap-up conversations. A lot of text messages, a lot of them. Amongst them, interesting one, which sounds and looks quite but very, very obviously the heart of MPP is Ashanti region. Inti JFK, Justin Kudia, we're free a year YE hono. Some day Ashanti ni. They be a calculation
politics.
Hey, Ekwaba, we better recover. We have the next 10 minutes to wrap up. A member of parliament, former Menchia North, Collins Ozo Mankwa, his social media, Mpensenpensenmu steps. Or channels, hey, you this guy. Mampe Odia Tumda, Collins Raji 3 points or na. There's already a CNE. Ghana Mpensenpensenmu and other Danko Kufuado. On ultimate chow, no Timu people. Wow. This guy, no, I walk straight to you. Oh, somebody to reshuffle, baby, you know. So let me say reshuffle, but reshuffling of major ministries and ministers. So at probabilities here, maybe 2 ministries is really high.
Sure.
In the I'm sure it's understand. And let me point to stadium one of free nipenim walk straight to you. You know, it's a plus for the president with all this security. Or a diversion bow timidly in such shoes, same said or any colleague now. Wouldn't be today. So all that talk about now we a lot of business opportunities. We will have to go, so we're a big man. This is Ghana's president too, Republic of Ghana. From the crowd now, Shemino, Otimi monitor who say, and they will see TMO so hey you, wow. I'm sure say Risha for we never be agina.
Too many of my penny horse said they were.
But be too much of a habituality.
And no dear, and no crack. On the Yenny war is Lebanon. Yeah, honestly. So when you come on, what do you remember? Yeah, who's ever shy she found until
but be able call. Down the course of a party, maybe a Mossa John Bodu as a good for me. Maybe I come out.
Oh, and yes, he said election there. It is that I can say. Well, Mutu die until Mutu die. But I said, "You ever could be no." I was so with me taking.
Now catch your party for no, so we didn't Google and we didn't Kunima. A tree no, and it's not in the interest of the party. All social media say they be no much. Then the person kasa omo party ni mpa. And this is for me say the person kasa. Say I will share say na who atamfo. And some nipa can na way na say na way na say na job na say na. It na way nyina na mo ne to if you nwotwe no. Na way no so kra na o de ma hu nipa de odo. E ma hu nipa.
That time we now we John Ubu the opera was a mo. Oniza. Yeah. What the ma Risha from random man penning bony dinner baby. The very people like ne almost no. Oh. Congratulatory messages about
quantities on Betron.
Just a young show.
Risha for Kaon is moving to a major ministry.
Yes, but say was some party. You know, based on that,
wasum your wow, Shabamin Cow beam. Wasum your the Mikhail said, reshuffle neighbor. The former general secretary of the MPP, John Bodu, a part of it, or be appointment, major industry. Nti Mikhail. Now, although neighbor from say, obey. Okay. Okay. Into BBI come. And there's a call to that maybe Justin Kodia as and for the entire farmers and for back. Because my to me I calculation say ECG ni other places be torn as if we better torn. Akokodi baby omuni problem. But we don't more dem dem for more dem to us.
My name is prerogative of the president. Say or no ankasa nenim na ban. And I was she. Nti no won't men share pi say wo wadwene mu no susu say nko fan to say bia de ohunya sa na ohu. Okay. Di enja no. No nya dobe. No nya dobe. And no beboa.
I see. This is next side only a presidential.
Yes, and parliamentary.
And parliamentary. Did you ever first?
Parliamentary.
Parliamentary ever first.
Yes.
That's a presidential number.
And a bosso.
A bosso?
A bosso pa. Be 3 to 4 weeks be them zebedem.
Oh wow, it's really interesting.
Very.
And you are going back.
Yes.
Claim your seat.
Yes.
Ubenya.
Nyame Adom Mensabeka.
What's the chef?
What's the chef? What's the chef from Libya?
Oh, o ma say on say unye bi da, ba say wa ba demonstrate na party for ne hu say oh, the ekofa aye there. Ka ot na wan ke koye ni mo. I know they say no there. Edru am bejitum say they will speak.
But who hear a lot of Bukata constituency. Putting up billboards, massacring a lot of...
No. That was a youth organizer. No. The point is, I say, occasion be a mature, the constituency.
Oh, you're parallel.
Way back.
You run a parallel administration with your current MP.
Oh, another day.
Because we are interfere in your MPships. But we that's what that's your MP.
That's all mine. No pattern to cover. Oh, to a asempa.
Yeah.
Say no pattern to cover the na that one na MP.
Na what na MP.
Enti age ba do no there on MP there. Obi etimi bem. But on no continue there on timi. That's all them. You are being unfair and insincere to me this morning.
On this matter.
Yes. Because what pattern to cover Ukra say me also no say mo man asumdwe young man mo man asumdwe
na me sa 10 year
be ka 10 year be ka say nti de ogu no
eno na wutwa
no na obetwa
nti wo ngodua bro enkotwa eye bia
say adwuma ye de no da me wa che de o amu bia gina politics.
No, you talk like your president. That's why I identify what it is. More presidential, it's interesting.
Yes, it's going to be very, very interesting. Yeah.
I hear say my good friend is really making inroads. Canada, Japan.
Sure. Say be a general nsem na oka no. People feel say okay. Sansem say na head.
They move fit it in so ho Alan Kojo Chairman.
Yes, I mean, and he's been consistent with Nanado. So on the the match Martin
and come to Dr. Joseph Yakutu. No, never say ho because JFK
bunch neighbor
JFK Dr. Joseph Yakutu
Ako Press.
That's the name.
Yes, Press.
The Akutu agenda.
Akutu for president. Yes.
Anna the almighty Baumia and I'm more abandoned.
Oh no. I mean sitting vice president. Or who say or gravitas no. Ntino at the end of the day no a very interesting.
So far any person a yomuti.
So far nipa be 9.
9. Adai ni mo Akutu Afriye Kenya Japan Baumia Alan Kojo Chairman Company Japan so and the signals within the metro.
Ameyao
no.
Ameyao former NLA Osameyao. Odidi nkom. Na so ababida. Jogate wa babida.
Jogate.
Yes.
Jogate.
Yes.
Boache Jaku. You know. Hey, Mutamo. It's a
Dr. Preku.
Akumara Tomato.
Yes.
Oba.
Yes.
Aba.
Oh, so there na okay.
Say declaration of.
It's a Mubro 5 number then must have 5.
So you was super delegates Ebeko to prune the number to 5.
Okay.
That's the threshold.
Okay.
And if they are more than 5, you better call to super delegates.
I'm on Park of doing some comments.
I'm on Park of doing some comments. A quick one on minorities another signature to start vote of censure against Ofori-Atta.
Yeah.
A match I do about nothing.
Who has explanation now? Who has George Germany there? It means clearly over frustrated system because of percentages. Yes,
of course,
yes, within your party,
complete waste of energy. Say more bekakofa, say more at the end of the day, well, filing motion in there, you need 1/3. Into no there, or more numbers. But say you pass a resolution, not less than 2/3, and never ending.
Secret ballot.
And I'm sure say even some of the NDC MPs no cry no. Ebeka say papa no ntina ho. Say ne be mboko so ajo market ya. Nti no at the end of the day no.
Asaba Kemudru. Aketua ben na de papa
na to now you grow for nidi.
Papa de
you grow for your mudi of parliament.
Hey, this is a very serious allegation.
It's double salary your muti meje
serious allegation.
So you don't know.
I'm not sitting here thinking.
Don't impugn.
So you trust them.
I trust my MPs.
Your MPs.
I trust them.
Don't impugn their integrity.
How can you say this?
No. May say. So you trust your own people.
Of course.
Okay, so Yaman is here and say no, that one is not good for you.
Which one?
No, but he doesn't pay them.
I don't know.
It is the state that pays them.
Mr. Albert Nathaniel Esuman, happy birthday soon. Mr. Nathaniel Esuman, happy birthday. Thank you for watching.